Hello and welcome to Eye on Africa. I'm Clarisse Fortuné. First, the headlines. South Africa says it will be working hard to support its exporters hit by American new 30% tariff. The country faces the highest rate in sub-Saharan Africa, a huge blow as the US is its second biggest trading partner. A deadly building collapse in Alexandria, and it's not the first. As sea levels rise, Egypt's historic coastal city faces a growing threat. Some say climate change is about to erase one of the world's oldest cities. And we'll go to Abidjan, where the Women's AfroBasket 2025 is taking place. The battle for basketball supremacy in Africa is heating up. We'll speak to a sports specialist and a huge fan to break down the key takeaways from this year's edition. South Africa is among the countries facing President Donald Trump's new tariffs on exports that were due to come into force on Friday, but were delayed at the last minute until August 7th. President Cyril Ramaphosa said he will use the week-long delay in the US's imposition of 30% tariffs to negotiate hard to avoid the penalty and save jobs. Nick Rushworth has more.
The 30% US tariffs on South African products are due to take effect within 7 days after the 1st of August. They are among the highest in sub-Saharan Africa amid tense relations. The country's President Cyril Ramaphosa says discussions with Washington are ongoing.
We've got to engage with them and find a way to reach a settlement. So within the window that's still open, we're hoping that we will find a way to settle this matter. So intensive negotiations are now underway.
Among the sectors hit hard, South Africa's automotive and steel industries. This valve manufacturer in Johannesburg employs 200 people. The company fears the 30% tariff will force it to leave the US market, which currently accounts for 80% of its exports.
The longer the tariffs stay in place, the longer the situation will continue to disable us.
Wine, nuts, avocados and fruit are exported to the United States from South Africa in large quantities. The US imports between 6 and 8% of the country's citrus fruit production. One producer in Citrusdal, 200 kilometers north of Cape Town, says his business will adjust.
We can survive this. We probably have to cut off a couple of hectares, take 2 steps back, wait 4 or 5 years and then move forward. But what is the reality? If we cut off 100 hectares, there's going to be 200 people looking for a job next year in Citrusdal.
The governor of the South African Central Bank says Trump's tariffs could result in 100,000 jobs lost in Africa's largest economy.
Let's now head to Egypt, to the ancient city of Alexandria, where a recent building collapse has tragically resulted in several fatalities. This incident is part of a growing trend. In the past 20 years, nearly 300 buildings have fallen. One significant factor contributing to this situation is climate change, particularly the rising sea levels in the Mediterranean. Alexandria stands out as one of the cities most at risk of disappearing in the world.
In this old quarter of Alexandria, workers are still clearing debris 2 weeks after the collapse of a building. This resident, who lives in a nearby apartment, is still in shock.
It was around 5 in the morning. I'd just fallen asleep when 10 minutes later I heard screaming and felt the ground shake. There was this huge cloud of dust. You couldn't see anything. 2 people died. God rest their souls.
Over the past 2 decades, 280 buildings have collapsed in Alexandria, killing 85 people. Across the city, ruins have become part of the landscape. Tarek Abdelmahassem is an engineer.
These buildings are all over 100 years old. Here they're either abandoned in ruins or marked for demolition. But of course people are still living in some of them.
24,000 buildings are at risk of collapse in the next few years, according to government figures. The main reasons are ageing buildings, decades of neglect, and the effects of climate change.
Alexandria's biggest problem is that it's a coastal city that's been highly exposed to rising sea levels for years. That's led to more and more salt water seeping into the ground, weakening the foundations of the buildings and making them unstable.
To help residents living in these unsafe buildings, the authorities have announced a plan to build 60,000 new houses. They're also trying to slow coastal erosion by building kilometres of concrete barriers between the beach and the city.
These blocks are designed to protect the coastline. You'll find them at various points along Alexandria's beaches where the sea is eating away at the sand. I don't think this will solve the underlying problem, but it's a protective measure to try to reduce the impact and slow down the erosion.
According to the United Nations, a third of the city could be underwater or uninhabitable by 2050.
Now, let's talk sports. The African Nations Championship kicks off this Saturday in Tanzania. For the first time, 3 East African countries are hosting the competition: Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda. The tournament, which was supposed to take place in February, was postponed to August because the organizers were not ready. So, are they ready now? Bastien Renouille went to visit the Kenyan national team.
Final training session before Kenya's first ever match in the African Nations Championship. They'll be facing DR Congo, 2-time Chan champions.
We have camp, I think, right now almost 3 weeks to a month. We're fully ready. We thank to the coach. He has prepared us very well. So we are focused for the game on Sunday.
Players say the delay didn't throw them off. In fact, for the coach, the extra time may have been a blessing.
Having Chan postponed for 6 months has kind of given everybody a chance to also work on become better during that time, and now they will be ready to showcase their talent, and hopefully Kenya is not going to be a disappointment.
Kenya will play in 2 renovated stadiums that were not ready in January. Organizers now insist everything is in place. Even the president is promoting the tournament.
Wakenya wenzangu, this August, something big is happening.
The country needs to demonstrate that the tournament can run smoothly. The stakes are high. Chan is seen as a dress rehearsal for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, which will also be hosted by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. In Nairobi, a brand new 60,000-seat stadium is currently under construction. For the sports journalist, things seem to be moving in the right direction.
I think we're ready for now. We've been pushing the government to have these stadiums ready. We've just come from a period where there are no stadiums. These tournaments now give people, especially these people who have never had a chance to prepare for big tournaments, to see how things will be. Because AFCON is bigger, obviously, we've got more eyeballs, we've got bigger players coming through, the media is coming here. So it's a chance for everyone to see how things will be moving. And some of them, if they don't work right now, you can be able to rectify and make them work by 2027.
By then, the new stadium should be completed and filled. 45,000 tickets for Kenya's first Chan match were sold out in less than 2 days.
And meanwhile, the 2025 AfroBasket women taking place in Ivory Coast, from thrilling upsets to standout performances. This year's tournament has delivered high-level action and a glimpse into the future of African basketball. Lamine Savané is the CEO of Vision 21 Sports Consulting. He's joining us live from Abidjan, where he has been watching different games. Welcome back to the program, Lamine. So you just came back from a game. Tell us more about it.
Hey, Clarice. Another exciting day in the AfroBasket 2025 in Ivory Coast. Unfortunately, today was one of the disappointments for Ivory Coast, because after losing to Senegal in the quarterfinals, they also lost today to Cameroon in the classifying games. So a lot is going on. Honestly, great games. FIBA Africa has put on a really nice show. Abidjan is really beating to the drums of basketball the past week or so. And we're looking forward to the semifinals tomorrow and the final on Sunday.
So what fans should be watching for this weekend?
Well, listen, tomorrow, two huge games. 3 out of the 4 powerhouses of basketball have made it to the semifinals. The last-minute guest so to say, has been South Sudan. And unfortunately, the loser has been Cameroon, who's lost to Nigeria in the quarterfinals. So tomorrow at 6 o'clock, Senegal will be squaring off against Nigeria. So Nigeria is the reigning champion and Senegal is the vice champion. And in the second semifinal, South Sudan will be playing against Mali. So pretty intense. We're looking forward to two very good games because the four teams have really displayed a high level of basketball. And, this is the best that we can hope, us basketball lovers on the ground here.
So you're talking about good games to look forward to, but as we get closer to the final, how would you assess the overall level of play at this year's tournament?
Very good. Honestly, basketball on the continent has been on the rise for the past few years. I mean, this is the reason why you see the NBA coming into the picture. But literally, the women's game is not trading to the men's game in terms of interest that is drawing locally here in Abidjan, in terms of the play of the ladies, which many of them are playing overseas now in the US, in Europe, wherever they are playing at the highest level, which makes for some really good basketball. And the organization has really been top-notch in terms of host nation. Ivory Coast is now demonstrating its capacity to really host major sports events on the continent.
Lamine Savané, thank you very much. We will be looking forward to this weekend. And this concludes our program. Thank you for watching Eye on Africa on France 24.